All signs point to this, as head coach JJ Redick has a chance to do something that only a few coaches have done in franchise history. And on top of that as well, if he does not do it this year, it could haunt him for the rest of his coaching career. Welcome to Lakers Digest here, guys. My name is Hunter Pitcoff, and we cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. And guys, it's time. It's the playoffs. We're going to be covering this like no other channel is. So if you want to be a part of this content right now, as we just reached 18,000 subscribers, the close to 20,000 subscribers, hit that subscribe button because you could be one of the first 20,000 subscribers here. And 78% of you guys watching this right now are not subscribed. So if that is you, I'm talking right to you. Stop what you're doing right now. Hit that subscribe button before we get into today's video, because we're going to be covering something that a lot of you guys might not know. It caught my attention on the World Wide Web today, and it might catch yours right now. So let's just get into the video, because the one shining moment that JJ Redick has is going to be coming up this playoffs. And it's going to start on Saturday night, the journey to this, as the Lakers face the Timberwolves in Game 1 of the first round. Here it is, guys. Here is what I want you to look at, because this was posted by DraftKings earlier today. Every head coach who has won a championship with the Lakers won it in their first season. And of course, guys, you see a lot of very popular names. Of course, Frank Vogel, someone who just did it for the Lakers in 2020. You got Phil Jackson, got Pat Riley there. I mean, a lot of the Laker greats are on that list. And there are 6 coaches there who have won championships with the Lakers. And as we know, the Lakers have 17 championships to their name, but only 6 coaches. So that's pretty interesting. Only 6 coaches have won 17 of those championships. But when you double down on that point as well, guys, the more interesting thing is that all of them won it in their first season. So no coach in the history of the Los Angeles Lakers who has won a championship won their first one after their first season as the head coach. They won it in year 1. And so if JJ Redick, that's going to be a lot of pressure on him, right? Because this is probably the only franchise in the NBA where this is the case. And if it's not, then, they don't have multiple coaches that have probably done this. I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of a team that had multiple coaches win it in their first year. I know, like Nick Nurse, for example, won it in his first year with the Raptors, but, that's a one-off. This doesn't normally happen. I mean, Steve Kerr won it the first year with the Warriors, but this normally does not happen. The Lakers have happened to done this 6 freaking times, and has led to 17 championships in total as a result, because the head coach was able to win it in his first season at the helm for the Lakers. As if the pressure could not be any higher for JJ Redick. And that's going to bring us to our next point, guys. Can he fulfill the prophecy? Does JJ Redick have the troops to get this done? Because some of those coaches walked into great situations. I mean, Frank Vogel, it was the first year of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. That roster was so loaded with talent, and it was extremely deep. The most veteran-ridden roster in the entire NBA. It made sense the Lakers won the championship, and they were the 1 seed all season long. You got those teams with Phil Jackson, right? I mean, his first season, they won a championship because he had Shaq and Kobe. and a lot of great role players like Robert Horry and Derek Fisher and guys like that. Horace Grant was on that team. Brian Shaw. Those teams were loaded. And you look at someone like Pat Riley, right? You got Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and James Worthy. I mean, Michael Cooper. They got all these guys. Do the Lakers have that? Well, they got the superstars. That's not the question. They got Luka Doncic, middle of the season, and they got LeBron James, who was on one of those teams for Frank Vogel and has already won a championship with the Lakers. So he's got his superstars. The Lakers are playing really good basketball at the right time. They've beaten a lot of these teams in the Western Conference multiple times this year, or have played them really close in a lot of games. They have the tiebreaker over seeds, I believe, 4 through 8. They have the tiebreaker over all of them, which means that they played well against all of those teams, and they could have had more games too, and against Houston as well, and could have had more, potentially too, if Luka doesn't get thrown out of that Thunder game. Just saying. But that is a lot of pressure for JJ Redick, who is walking into a high-pressure situation already, being the Lakers head coach. This has been a franchise that if you don't do well, they're going to fire you. And I guess, if you want to show this graphic just one more time for you guys, the bar is high. The bar is high for head coaches for the Los Angeles Lakers to come in right away and succeed. And I don't think J.J. Redick, if they happen to have a, knock on wood, let's not speak into existence, a bad playoff outing, I don't think he's going to get fired. I think he's done a great job with this Lakers team this year. He's had a lot of moving parts. One of the biggest trades in NBA history happened, and probably the most unexpected trade ever with Luka Doncic going to the purple and gold, and yet he found ways to make it work. So give JJ a ton of credit. A tough Western Conference this year was really competitive. They stood out more than majority of the teams did. So that's going to bring us to our final point here, guys, because there is so much pressure on JJ Redick. Now we have this statistic, too, to back it up. Can he fulfill the prophecy and be the next head coach to do it? But before all of that happens, guys, we got to get to this first round. What are the keys to the series against the Minnesota Timberwolves? How can the Lakers beat this team, a team that they split the season series with 2 apiece, including that opening night game against them, Anthony Edwards and them, and this Minnesota Timberwolves team that went to the Western Conference Finals a season ago and haven't quite looked as good since, but this is a team that's definitely coming on a little bit later in the season and has definitely looked like a much more friendlier foe for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I did say on this channel, I did not want the Lakers playing the Warriors in the first round. To me, maybe outside of the Thunder, because they've earned that right, is probably the team that scares me the most, that can match up the best with the Lakers. So, entering this game on Sunday, the Lakers locked up the 3 seed, so they rested all their guys against Portland. That game didn't really matter as long as they stayed healthy, and they did. But let's talk about this game as well, because you look at who the implications were for Sunday. That's what I was mainly watching, right? Was who were the Lakers going to play in the first round? Now, the Warriors lost to the Clippers in overtime, so they dropped out and are now in the play-in, and the Lakers don't have a chance to play them until at earliest the next round against the Houston Rockets, if they can manage to beat the Memphis Grizzlies, which the Warriors are 0-3 in the play-in tournament. We'll see if that dry spell continues. But they could even play them, perhaps, if they beat the Thunder as an 8 seed. If they lose to the Grizzlies and then beat the winner of the Kings and the Mavericks. So they kind of have avoided the Warriors, at least for now. They're not going to play Denver unless they win against the Clippers, who are playing really good basketball right now, and then they beat the Thunder. So the Lakers are in a solid situation where they play a team like the Timberwolves, which I think they match up pretty fairly against. And looking at what, the matchups are here, the guys to look out for the Minnesota Timberwolves, it's Anthony Edwards, the dude who had led the NBA this year and made 3-point attempts at 39.5%. I mean, that's by far and away Anthony Edwards' most successful season shooting the basketball from the perimeter. They got Julius Randle as well, who's playing a little bit better. We know that Naz Reid is a Laker killer. This guy seems like he just kills the Lakers every time they play. Although, with that being said, did not play particularly amazing against them this year. And then you got Jaden McDaniels. We know what kind of defender he is. Alexander Walker, another really good defender as well. Mike Conley, the steady vet at the point guard spot. Terrence Shannon Jr., someone who killed the Lakers the last time they played. We'll see if he has one of those 25-point games, career nights. Hopefully not. And of course, Rudy Gobert, who, has won all these Defensive Player of the Year awards, although in reality, I don't think he should have won nearly as many as he has. But here we are. So, what do the Lakers need to do to beat this team? They got to control the glass. I think that's going to be super, super important. This is a team that's not always consistently boxing out. That is going to have to be the game plan here for the Los Angeles Lakers to win. They need to control the boards and control the pace, because the Timberwolves are definitely going to want to go out and run with all those athletes there. And Anthony Edwards had a pretty really good start to the playoffs last year, but a really miserable end to it as he was gassed. But this is the first round, so I'm assuming we're not going to see that version of Anthony Edwards. We're probably going to see a much better version, although the Lakers have played Anthony Edwards very well throughout his career, and they have the perimeter defenders to do it. So I think this could be a really big series for guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and Jared Vanderbilt, because they're going to be asked to do a lot defensively, guard a lot of these perimeter guys that Minnesota has, because they're a pretty perimeter-oriented team with a lot of ball handlers like the Lakers are, and Anthony Edwards is the catalyst of that. So this could be a big series where guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and Jared Vanderbilt are going to really have to play some defense, and of course probably have to bang down low with guys like Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert. Rui Hachimura also is probably going to get a lot of the center rotation minutes. The Lakers want to play small. The Timberwolves have the capability of playing small, but if they do end up playing small and they can play Gobert out of that series, well, I think it's the Lakers that's going to benefit them. They're going to play Julius Randle at the 5. I don't think that's necessarily a way that Timberwolves are going to win some basketball games. So bringing him out, right? You remember Luka hit that game winner over Rudy Gobert and put him in a blender, hit that 3 over him, started cursing him out in Slovenian. That's the Luka I want to see. And I'm excited to see what he does for the Lakers. He's finally found his footing as the catalyst for this Lakers offense, creating for himself and others. Really had that statement game against his former team in Dallas against the Mavericks. And I'm hoping that version of Luka, the version we saw last year in the playoffs, that's the version we're going to see for the Los Angeles Lakers this season. And then, guys, look, LeBron has been resting it up. He's been coasting a little bit. There's no more coasting with LeBron James. He's going to be giving his best foot forward on both ends of the floor here. Austin Reaves, again, he's going to ultimately be the difference maker for the Lakers. If he's playing the level of basketball like he has last couple of months into this playoff run, we know he steps up in the playoffs. Rui also someone who steps up as well. If we see that version of Austin Reaves, and if the Lakers can hit a ton of threes against the Timberwolves, a lot of these games have been very low scoring against Minnesota. They're a good defensive team. If the Lakers can hit their threes, they're not losing to anybody. I really don't think so. If the Lakers hit threes, they're not losing. So that's going to be the difference here. Control the glass. Can that small ball lineup work? Because that's what the Lakers are going to, butter their bread with. And can they hit shots? Those are the keys, in my opinion. The defense on Anthony Edwards as well will be the difference in this series. But let me know down below in the comments, guys. What do you guys think of the keys to the Lakers-Timberwolves series? We'll be covering this in depth as the Lakers play and host Game 1 at Crypto.com Arena against the Timberwolves at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. If you're an East Coast guy like me, it's going to be 8:30, so an earlier game. Don't have to stay up until 1 a.m. to watch. It's pretty nice. And we'll keep you guys covered. We'll talk about the JJ Redick stuff as well. And every single thing you need to know about the Lakers will be covered here. As again, guys, 80% of you watching right now, just a tad under, are not subscribed. If that is you, and you're not subscribed, you want to keep up with everything surrounding your Lakers, subscribe now to do that here on Lakers Digest.